to another day in the shop. I'm Fred. Yeah, it's been a busy day today. I finished off my Lazy Man summer control panel and everything's working like a charm. I'm going to give you some footage of that. I just wanted to show you this particular valve. These valves are called Yamaha mini motorized ball valves. Model number YS20S075BSP. These are not a spring return valve. These actually have a set of charging capacitors in there. I should have left the lid open when I was checking it out, but what they do is you power closed, and while you're powering open, the capacitors charge. When you take the power off, the relay switches over and goes to the capacitors, and the capacitors close the valve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little extension cord and plug this in, and I'm going to show you how this this little neat device works. I think these are good for like 350,000 strokes. So I don't think I'll exceed that anyways. Let me get you in a close-up here, and we'll have a look at this. All right. Guys, we're back. I just had to put a little 110 plug on the end of it, but I'll just give you a little demonstration. These valves are kind of nice valve, cheap. I think they're like 50 bucks Canadian. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to power this thing up. I didn't want to just shove the wires in the end of the receptacle, but you can see here she's open, and let me just pull the plug on here, and she closes. So yeah, there's just a little bunch of capacitors in here that charge up, and the relay switches over. And let me see if I can open this up to give you an inside view. I remember taking one of these things apart a long time ago. So there we go. You can manually open this thing here. I think. Maybe not. Okay, let's get a pair of pliers on there. We got my two pliers here. So yeah, these are quite a neat invention. Having a capacitor charge up when you're, and then when you disconnect it, the capacitor actually powers the motor to the close. The nice thing about that is that you don't have power on it all the time. So, all right, let's get this thing apart here. Have a little boo inside. Yeah, I was impressed with these little things. These things here are supplied by Wayne, PA. I have no idea who they are, but I know you could find these on the internet, and I think you have to have a minimum order. I got these from a controls company in the U.S. there. I forgot what the name was, but they sell Kelly or Keeley or something like that. They sell a lot of really neat stuff. Transducers, temperature sensors for all the major controls companies that you have out there, Siemens, Johnson's, and whatever have you. They got just tons and tons of control stuff. So there you have it. So you have a little motor that's underneath this little part here. That's the motor. And those are the bank capacitors that charge up when you're powering it open. And they are the capacitors that power the motor closed. Kind of a cool invention. I don't want to rip this thing completely apart because it's my spare valve. And then there's a little micro switch here. A bunch of diodes, timers, voltage regulator, another micro switch there, tells it when it's fully closed, disconnects the power. So I'll give you a close-up. So that bank of capacitors right here will charge the motor and charge the motor to the closed position. Then you get some filters. Like I said, a diode that transfers power from AC to DC. So yeah, really neat stuff. I like it. I always put this back together. I'm going to give you a shot of the controls. I think I gave you a shot of the control panel that I've used. It's a Mercury controller. And it's got tons and tons and tons of inputs and outputs, whether it's digital or analog, which worked for me. For the last 2 days, it's been around between 29 and 30 degrees here in Whitby, Ontario. So my pool, she's a beautiful 78 degrees right now. I've been running through the little solar panel that I bought there a couple years ago. I didn't have any controls on it before, so yeah, getting that all set up and working the way working the way I wanted it to work. Yeah, it was beneficial today. I'll tell you, it worked out just fantastic. So put that little sticky thing back on there. Yeah, so if you take this, flick it up, you can actually see the capacitors. It's not even plugged in, it's still going. It's charged, still charged. So yeah, nice little device. I got a couple of these. So anyways, let me give you a shot of the controls. I got everything set up in my shed at the side of the house for the pool. So let me take you there. All right. Oh, also the gardening nozzles. This was a chore. I'll just give you a quick overview. I had to make these nozzles. Let me take you a little bit. I had to make these nozzles for my garden. And I worked with all different size orifices. I made these little brass caps that fit on top to diffuse the water. And you know, I know nothing about water other than drinking it, taking a bath in it, and watering the grass. And we use a shitload of it at work for cooling towers. So this was a kind of a new adventure. So I've made a whole bunch of different nozzles at different angles, different orifice sizes. This was a 1/16 too much, so that got scrapped. This was a number 10 drill at 30 degrees, too much angle. 35 degrees. I give you a real close up, and it was a lot of work. This one was 22 degrees, not enough angle. So, and this one was 40 degrees, too much angle. So the optimum angle I used was a 29 degree going this way, and using a number, I think it was number, hang on, let me go see which drill size that was. That was a number 56 drill. That was a tiny little bugger like that. So I had these in the rotary table. I always turn that one upside down because that's the one I always use if I have to make more. So I had this in the rotary table there a year ago before I started my YouTube channel. So that's why I'm sharing it with you now. That the stands were about 3 feet tall, and I had to get exactly 4 feet by 4 foot. So 29 degrees using a number 56 drill gave me the optimum spray angle with this little 1/2 inch radius cap on top. And I built a bunch of those, and I will give you a view of those as well for my vegetable gardens. Anyway, so, all right, without further ado, let's go to the back. Guys, this is my garden, and here are the sprayers that I made. They're on stainless steel tubing, 1/2 inch OD, and I've got 2 of them here. And here, let me just zoom in on this one here. So that sprays water exactly to the middle, 4 foot on both sides. Perfect circle for what I have here, because I don't want it going all over the place. So I've got that garden there, and I've got my another small garden here. These are all pepper plants. I love peppers. So here's the nozzle here. These are all Swedgelock fittings. Yeah, I kind of went overboard. I could have used just regular compression fittings. And there's my little manifold setup. I just finished putting these quick connects on here. These are for electronic ballast, but they're pretty good. I put a little bit of silicone on the ends there so the water wouldn't get in, but I have 4. I have 3 for my garden, and 1 for the front yard that sprays, and they only spray for about 2 minutes. And then I have a little control valve right there, and that gets the little rainbird, what they call, I forgot what they call those little sprinklers. They're very, very small miniature sprinklers. I'll give you a shot of those as well. But yeah, that's my garden there. And then I have another one down here, also full of veggies. It's kind of nice when they're all growing, you get to pick fresh vegetables every day. So anyways, I'll show you the controls now. So that's my pool. That's an 18-foot round pool. Yeah, I float in there like a beached whale. It's kind of nice when it's when the water's warm. Today I went swimming. Water was 78 degrees. That was in 3.5 days. It worked out really well. So I've just got a little bit of chlorine in there now to clear it up. Anyways, okay, so let's get to the control part. Yeah, more vegetables. And I have these little nozzles right here that spray in a round circle for my deck plants. And I've got this bunch over here, and then I've got my couple cherry tomatoes right here. I also have the little nozzle in them, and you can see the supply hose there. It was a real simple setup, and automating it was actually pretty good too. I finished this all off today, so all right, let's get to the control part. So here we've got the pump that circulates the water through the solar blanket. I'll give you a shot of that as soon as I give you all the info on this. I just keep this running, keeps the rodents out of my shed here. So I've got everything in plastic liquid tech here. This is a, let me see what horse. I think this is a 1/2 horse pump. Doesn't draw too much. Anyways, that just keeps the water circulating. I've got those little 2 blue valves, one there, one there. This one is closed. This one is open, so the water is going up through the pipe, up to the solar heater, coming back. Now, the way I've designed this is that if the water comes back too warm, this valve will open and divert the water back. Let me get you here. We'll divert the water back to the pool without sending it to the blanket. So here I've got the touch display here. So, and these are all my parameters: leaving temperature, entering temperature, outside air temperature, circ pump temperature. And I've got a little sensor on the circ pump here, a little surface sensor, that if the pump gets too warm, it'll shut the pump down and send me an alarm. So, and then I've got a rain sensor. I'll show you that in a minute. And I got a flow switch. So the main pool pump has to be on, and then 2 minutes after the pool pump starts, the flow switch makes on, and then turns on this little recirc pump and controls all the valves. So I'll show you how I've got it kind of wired up. It's kind of not really messy, but I got a lot of slack in the wires. So I've got these outputs are all 24 volts. They control the planting solenoids, pump. I got some inputs, the flow switch, which is there. And I got some analogs for the temperatures. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It took me a couple days to figure out how to program this. So it was, yeah, it was well worth it. I've got a little points list here. So, and my USB cable, so I can reprogram. There's two USB ports in the back there, which are really neat because you can do trending. So you can actually trend your outside air temperature and the whole bit. So yeah, so that's the way I've got that set up. So I can go to the parameters, and it'll give me, oh, also, yeah, I've added, here, I'll just give you a shot. These are all the parameters, and I can, let's go back, parameters, and hang on here. There's a whole bunch. I got chemical override, a valve time, sprinkler manual, so I can turn the front sprinklers on manually and pulse them. I got a bypass valve delay, which is that bypass that bypasses the solar blanket. Pool pump override, so if I want to leave that on all day and all night, I can do that. Outside air temperature timer. If the outside air temperature goes below 15 degrees, it bypasses the solar blanket and just goes directly to the pool, because I don't really need to dissipate heat into the air. So now those little rainbird things, let me find them. I think they're in my pool container. So anyways, that's it. These are the two Hilroy chemical pumps. These ones are made in the US of A. I could pulse these up to 360 pulses per minute, or I can slow them right down to 1 pulse per minute. I have them set up so I have the proper chlorination and the proper biocide levels to stop any algae from growing. And I just put these buckets. These ones are filled with chlorine, but I have 2 more in the my storage bin that I put underneath there, and they just pump a certain amount of chlorine and a certain amount of biocide in every day. I don't like to slug feed anything, so these are perfect. I've got a couple spare pumps for spare. These are very simple diaphragm pumps with a stroke command on it, and I don't have them plugged in right now because I just opened the pool today and finished all the wiring here. So that's the stroke rate there, and then they'll tell you I can go up to 360 strokes per minute. And yeah, these pumps are really, really nice. I don't know who the manufacturer of these are. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, they're 110. They work great. So, all right. Let me give you a shot of the solar blanket that I got up on the roof here. All right, we're up the ladder. So there's my solar blanket. I've got it piped into the part of the roof there, and I got a big aluminum plate behind that. As the aluminum heats up, it actually heats up the bottom side of this solar blanket. This is a 10-footer by, I don't know, 4.5 feet. It's got 4 runs, And then in here, there's a little check valve with a little 3/8 hole. Allows the water to move back and forth if there's too much back pressure in here. So yeah, that worked out well. I get maybe a 3 to 4 degree split, which is good enough. I'd like to get more, but unfortunately this blanket won't produce that amount of heat. But you know, for the home, it's okay. Anyways, so that's the solar blanket. Okay guys, I'm going to show you how I did the T connections for that solar blanket. That's my backyard. I've got a green thumb. Love my plants and trees and stuff. So here's what I did here is I had this old what they call not chlorinator, it's a stabilizer. I don't use stabilizer because it eats everything, including copper and whatever, and there's a copper or brass impeller in that pump, so I'm not using stabilizer, I'm just using chlorine at a very minimal amount. So what I've done here is I've got this valve here at half, so I've got the water coming in here, going through this pipe. Wow, big difference. Nice. Going through here, this goes to the pump, this comes back from the pump, comes back to a T here, and then it goes to the pool and gets exhausted by the little nozzle on the outside there. So yeah guys, so that's what I did here. It works. If you got warm weather all the time, it actually helps heat up the pool pretty quickly. And you know, when it starts to cool down at night, I have the pump on a timed event. I think the pump shuts off at about 1800 hours, which is 6 o'clock. And yeah, just goes on. So that's it guys. My pool filter and the plumbing, my gardens, and the solenoid assembly. Okay guys, so that was my tour of my Lazy Man summer control panel. It's working great so far. Yeah, these valves are quite the thing, you know. Like I said, very inexpensive. I would have liked to use an analog valve, but I didn't want to spend, you know, around the neighborhood of $200 for a, I believe this is 3/4. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, it's a 3/4 inch valve there, so I didn't want to spend in the neighborhood between $250 and $300 for a modulating valve. Floating valves work good. Yeah, they're limited, but for what I have and for the price of these things here, hands down, I'd use these things again, no problem. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. I'd like to say thanks to all my old subscribers, the guys who've been following me from day one, and all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Bye for now.